In this screencast, I'm going to go over my solution to case 10-2. We start off with the data given in the problem, which is right here. And the basic setup for the problem is the following. They're concerned about capacity. They have three scenarios for sales growth over the current year. So the forecast for 2018 can have sales growth of 5%, 10%, or 15%. It's also possible that they'll have a new order for 1,250 gallons per month, and they want to know whether they'll have a production problem since they're limited at 12,000 gallons per month, and then they want to know about the profitability of the new special order. I built this out, as you'll notice up here, to put some of the assumptions where they can be easily accessed and changed. So let's look at the first sales, and you can see the formula here. And what happens is I'm taking the sales from 2017 and then marking it up by whatever percentage is in the cell here, and then adding the volume from the new order. Now, the new order has 0 in this case, so that'll get a 0. Notice I'm using the dollar signs to sort of anchor the references. Now, for inventory, in the first month, they have the inventory as known as 1,500 gallons. So you can see that's just the number 1,500. But then they have a rule which says that they want inventory at the beginning of the month to be equal to, in this case, 12% of sales for the month. So you can see sales for the month times, in this case, 12%. If I want to make that 15%, everything recalculates very quickly. I don't have to get into the individual formulas and redo them. So let's set it back to 12. So there's a 12. Now, production. So this is just a simple inventory equation, and I put down here, let me just make that a little more readable. Beginning inventory plus production equals sales plus ending inventory. So production equals sales plus ending inventory minus beginning inventory. So that's the rule, right? Sales plus ending inventory minus beginning inventory. Contribution margin. Once again, notice I put in the contribution margin. In the problem, it's given us $15. By putting it up here, we can change that if we want to do some what-if hypotheses. But that's pretty much it, except for at the end. So when we get into January 2019, we're just told that the sales will be equal to the sales for December, just so we have an ending value for the inventory. The other thing that I did was right here. I used the formula to pick out the maximum production from this list. So I put in the max formula. Remember, we're concerned about what going over 12,000. I put in a sum for the annual contribution margin, and that way we can see the effect on profitability. Over here in this area, I've listed all the formulas. If you pause the video, at this point, you can see all of the formulas that I built in. Let's change some of the parameters and see what happens. Let's change sales growth to 10%. So notice by changing this to 10%, everything recalculates. We can see that we're still under 12,000 here. We can see the increase in contribution margin, which would be an indicator of the increase in profitability. Let's try 15%, and you can see all the recalculations. I'm going to go back to 5% here, 0.5. Now I'm going to add in the special new client. That was 1,250 gallons. That we're still okay on the production side. Profitability is going up. Let's try 10%. So I'm going to go equals 0.1. We're getting very close to the 12,000 over here. Profitability is still going up. Let's try 15%. And you can see that we do have a bit of a problem right here in December, if everything goes according to plan, that if we have 15% growth year on year plus the new order, then we will have some problems with capacity. Once you have the spreadsheet built, you can change any of the parameters and see how that would work. I will leave on the formulas so you can take a look at them, maybe take a screenshot of them if you try to build the spreadsheet yourself.